Hello. Gold does get talked about a lot when we're in an inflationary environment. I've had many people come up to our stand already today and call gold everything from a ballast to a last resort investment. Traditionally, we like to think of it though as a store for value. At GBA Group, we deal largely in precious metals. We do also offer pool-style products, which would be buying portions of, again, physical metals that we would hold on your behalf. So today we'll be exploring how self-managed super funds can invest in precious metals. Precious metals including gold, silver and platinum. I've been asked about lithium today as well. It's really important if you're going to invest in precious metals that you have a really solid understanding of the definition of that. And from a compliance point of view, that you check your trust deed allows you to do investments in precious metals. Let me try and work this clicker. Technology is not my jam. Oh, too far. All right, we covered compliance. Out of curiosity, does anyone currently invest in precious metals inside their super fund? All right, the hands thing's not working today. So if anyone does invest in precious metals, of those people, if you could raise your hands, how many of those are physical precious metals as opposed to the EFT options? Brilliant, no one, excellent. I can say whatever I want, you don't know. So there's 3 different options for investing in precious metals. There's the physical bars and coins, which is your bullion style options. There's coins which are collectible and numismatic, and what that means is that the coin isn't valued necessarily for its metal content, it's valued for its collectability. So that could be anything from limited print range to artwork, historical value, things like that. And then we've got exchange traded funds. These are paper investments in precious metals, so they track the indexes, but you don't get to physically hold the product. So, storage requirements. This has been another big topic of people visiting our stand today. So there's 2 different types, as we just covered. So there's your collectible and personal use items, and then there's your bullion. So bullion is valued primarily for the metal content. When you invest in collectible and personal use items, the storage requirements are quite different. So you can't use them before you retire is the key takeaway there. You can't display them, you can't have them in your home, things like that. Really important to consider when you're thinking about which kind of metal you'd like to invest in. For your more bullion style items, you can keep those at home. We had a lot of questions around that today as well. So you technically can keep them at home. You do need to have them insured. You do need to probably put them in a safe. You probably need to hide the safe. But you can keep them at home. The safer option, and something that most bullion dealers will offer, and particularly reputable bullion dealers, will offer storage options. So you can have vaulted options or safe deposit box options. Both of those usually come with insurance, which is quite important for your precious metals. Obviously, you don't want anything to happen to those because they are physical. You will also need to audit bullion. So, at the end of each financial year, your self-managed super fund will need to provide an audit statement for any physically held metals. This again is quite different for collectible and bullion items. So bullion items, you can get a end of holding statement. It will show what you have. It will show continuous ownership. That's really important for your audit requirements, is the continuous ownership factor. Something you should consider when you're investing in numismatic coins or ones with additional value on top of the metal content is that they will fluctuate in value more significantly than bullion does, basically. So when you collect coins, so if you're buying bullion coins, we all know they look beautiful. Some of them have different animals on them. Some of them are for historical events, things like that. You might start off buying that item at its metal content value only. But over time, that item might fall into a collectible category. So as part of your audit, what will happen is that will be adjusted each year. So if you have coins, if you're a person who likes to collect bullion coins as part of your super fund, which is a lot of our customers do collect coins, you just need to be quite mindful that when you do have those valued, that they might move into that collectible category rather than just being valued for their bullion content, which would change your storage and insurance requirements on those. All right. The challenges. So the challenges, we've talked about pension streams quite a lot today. Bullion obviously doesn't provide any income generation. So when you invest in bullion, we largely look at it as a long-term investment or as a store of wealth for uncertain economic times. So the non-income generating, if you need to draw down a pension, gold bullion may not be the best option for you because you really are looking at an increase in the intrinsic value of that item as how you make money from bullion if you're looking to generate wealth. If you're looking to stabilise your investment, bullion can be a really good option because it doesn't necessarily track with the ASX and other investments like that. It tends to work in reverse. If you see the stock market fluctuating, you tend to see the value of gold, silver, or your precious metals increase. Not always, and we can't predict the future, but that is generally how that would happen. Okay, annual audit considerations. So every year, when you hold precious metals inside your super fund, you do need to do that annual audit. Most bullion dealers will provide that statement for you at the end of the financial year, but you can request it whenever you like. Most bullion dealers, and all should, will have to physically cite those metals for you. So this is where your storage options become a bit more important. If the bullion house is storing that metal for you in its vault or safe deposit box, we will have that metal on site. So you don't need to lug it all the way into the office. You don't need to lug it all the way home. We can provide you that statement. I feel like I didn't have as much to say as all the investment options because gold is gold, right? We all know how it works. Okay, so as long as you're following the storage rules and the insurance rules, you will be compliant if you invest in gold bullion. You do need to double check that your trust deed allows you to do that. Does anyone have any questions about gold bullion specifically? Or the styles of investment? No? That's all right, I will let everybody go to lunch. Thank you.